welcome back for the last video on the different types of decisions or branches that you can take within CyberArk Identity Flows. So this video is going to cover what I consider the most powerful or probably the most capable type of decision, which is the branch. The biggest difference here is the branch can have multiple outputs while the split can only lead you to two different paths. The other major difference is when you're doing the comparison or the decision process, you have the ability to compare multiple values. So in this example, I am actually checking two different values to go down the left path, two different values to go down the center path, and one value to go down the right path. So if I don't get a status of 200, I'm going to go down this right path. Alternatively, if I have a status that contains 200 and the ID is greater than 200, I'll go down the middle path. And if I have a status that contains 200 and the ID is less than 200, I will go on down the left path. So this makes this much more powerful as I can put in various different conditions, whether that's an and, an or, an equals, etc. And I can have multiple conditions that must match, or maybe I only want to match one, maybe if I selected or here, right? So in this scenario, it becomes much more powerful because I can check multiple values from previous operations and then choose the appropriate branch based on that option. Additionally, I can add more branches as required. So just by selecting the branch icon and hitting the add button, I can now have additional conditions. So it's almost like a switch statement where I can make a ton of different choices based on the previously determined values, which gives me much more power. Just be aware that these branches will not ever return to the same path. So based on your branch, you will have to perform any kind of logic after the branch based on that. So that's where it can get a little bit tricky. If you need to do a bunch of operations after the fact, a join decision would be more useful. But in detail or overall, the branch option is much more powerful as it gives you the ability to compare against multiple values, and you cannot find this in the join or the split operation. If I run this, let me go ahead and save here. Let's see, if I run this flow, we should expect a 200 response, and then depending on the ID returned, it'll either go down the center branch or the left branch. So coming back up, taking a look at the flow, we'll take a look at this joke. The received data says the ID is 263. So based on this, I expect this to go down the success and ID greater than 200. In this case, success and ID greater than 200 was chosen because 200 OK contains 200 and 263 is greater than 200. So that's an example of how you can use a branch to check multiple conditions and then go down the appropriate path based on those conditions.